The first app is called Cinema 4K for Android. This phone is LG V10. Cinema 4K app with LG G4 were used to film the no filter, no CO2, no fart 7.5 gallon bowl and the 5 gallon high cube. LG G4 has the same camera module as LG V10, but LG G4 doesn't have the manual controls for video recording on the stock camera app. That's why this Cinema 4K app was used with G4. First, this app's zoom is done through pinch zoom. It's not the best implementation, but it gets the job done. Next is the autofocus and the manual focus. The autofocus is a bit on the slow side, but the manual focus is very good. This app has what's called an assist focus, where when you manually focus something, it zooms in automatically so that you can focus very precisely. You can turn it off, or have it on 2x zoom focus, or 4x zoom focus. I've never seen this function on any other app. It's a surprisingly useful feature. Then the auto or manual white balance. This is a very important part of the filming because every aquarium has different light and color temperature. So the color temperature has to be set to look as real as possible. This tank actually looks closer to this in real life. This is the auto or manual exposure. Usually the lowest ISO possible is used for optimal image quality. Then the exposure time or the shutter speed is compensated to get the exposure right. Next setting is called Flat Profile. This setting is to increase dynamic range so that during post-processing or when editing the video, you can change the color much better. Without this feature, when editing the video, changing the colors doesn't look that good. In the setting, the maximum frames per second is only 30. The resolutions can be set up to 4K. The bitrate can be set up to 200 megabits per second. That's amazing! There's not another app that can do this. You can change the audio bitrate, image stabilization, change the exposure control to adjust and lock, or full manual, and grid line. I always use the rule of thirds. You can change the aspect ratio, digital horizon level display. This is an awesome app overall, very intuitive and easy to use. Only the zoom function is a little lacking. And only downside is that this app is not compatible with every Android phone. So download the free version and try out everything before purchasing. Another app I use is called Filmic Pro. This app is jam-packed with pro features. It would take 30 minutes or more to talk about this app, so it is omitted in this video. It is available for Android and iOS. I only used this app on some occasions, but this app is simply amazing. It's not that intuitive, and you should definitely read through the manual. An actual movie was filmed using this app entirely. And here is the V10 stock camera app. This app is simply the best manual camera app I've ever used. The implementation is very intuitive and very easy to use. And the quality is also very good. It's simply brilliant. You can set most things, but it's a little lacking compared to other apps. But because it's a stock app, it works beautifully with this phone. First is the microphone controls. You can set the direction of the microphone and the gain. This function was used to film the sparkling Grammys croaking. This is the white balance. As mentioned before, it's very important to set the color temperature. It has very easy and precise controls. And here's the auto or manual focus. You can change the ISO and shutter speed. Again, usually the lowest ISO is set for the best image quality. And shutter speed is compensated to set the exposure. Or you can turn off the automatic exposure lock and simply change the exposure value. The camera will automatically change the ISO and shutter speed for you. The zoom function only turns on while recording. This phone has a dedicated second screen and the zoom function appears. It's very smooth and precise to use. This phone and the stock camera app was used to film the entire Plenty Tank series. You get the same controls when photographing pictures too. For the macro shooting, this clip-on macro lens is used. It's one of the cheapest you can find on the net, somewhere around $3 to $4. Most of the time, manual focus is used for precise control. One of the best things about LG V10 is that the battery is removable, just like a camera. You can just swipe it out when you run out of juice, instead of needing to recharge the phone. Also, since it's an Android phone, you don't need a SIM card and you can still use all of the functions of the phone and apps. LG V20 does the same thing as a V10. Only real noticeable difference is that LG V20 has focus peaking. LG V30 works the similar way, but it doesn't have a removable battery. For all of the Flowerhorn filming, Samsung Note 5 Pro mode is used. First, the white balance is set. Then the ISO is set to the lowest possible setting. And finally, the shutter speed to compensate. The focus is always set to auto. The reason this phone is used and not the V10 is because the Note 5 has a super fast autofocus. For a fast moving object like swimming fish, a camera with a very fast autofocus is a must, in my opinion. All of the shots are usually filmed in 4K, and all of the final videos are downscaled to 1080p. The reason for this is it results in crisper video because of the downscaling. Also, when cropping, the video can be zoomed in up to 200% without losing any image quality. It's like getting a 2 times the optical zoom, and more precise cropping without losing image quality. The software I use to edit is Sony Vegas Pro 15, but I also used Sony Vegas Pro 13 in the past. Only difference is that Vegas Pro 15 has much better GPU acceleration rendering for faster rendering time, and you can set much higher clip speed. But one thing though, you need a powerful computer to edit in 4K. For 1080p or lower video editing, Camtasia is the easiest program to use, in my opinion. All of the earlier videos were made using Camtasia.